Are you going to Panama? In this video, I'm going to share with you the 10 best places to visit if you're going to Panama. Number 1, Boquete. It's in the Chiriquí Highlands. It's not too far from David, the second largest city in Panama. It's approximately about a 40-minute drive straight up, as Boquete is in the mountains. Boquete is known for chocolate and coffee. You can go on many different plantation tours, and there's also so much to do since you're in the mountains. One of the highlights is you can hike Volcán Barú. It's the highest point in all of Panama. I would suggest you leave early if you're doing a day trip, or leave early and camp overnight, catching a sunrise. If the day is clear, you'll be able to see both sides, the Caribbean and Pacific Oceans. Other highlights of Boquete is the many different zip lines, whitewater rafting on the Chiriquí Viejo River, and the many different hot springs. Also, Boquete is a great area to walk around, and if you're looking for a more detailed breakdown, I created a video right up here doing a full deep dive on a day guide, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, plus things to do in Boquete. Number 2 is Volcán Barú. I just mentioned it. It is 3,475 meters high, making it the highest point in all of Panama. Yes, on a clear morning, you can see both oceans, the Caribbean and the Pacific. The trails up and down are about a 6 to 8 hour hike. Yes, they are not meant for a beginner. I would suggest that your fitness level is around an intermediate to an advanced, because it is a very long hike. This being said, if you don't leave early, it tends to get very, very hot. Leaving early, staying up there, and possibly staying overnight is the highlight of Panama. Waking up to that sunrise is awesome. Number 3 is Bocas del Toro. So how do you get to Bocas del Toro? Well, there's 2 ways. If you're coming from Panama City, you can catch a plane. It takes about an hour. Or if you're driving, you'll go from David to Boquete, which I just mentioned, and then you'll carry on along that road. It's about a 4-hour drive. It's very scenic, and I would suggest you to do it if you haven't done it before. Bocas del Toro is a collection of islands. There's the main island, which you'll find a lot of amenities on, and then there's a whole bunch of sub-islands, all connected by water taxi. It's also one of the best surfing spots in all of Panama at Bluff Beach. And there's also a couple other areas for more advanced surfers. Other things that you can do are obviously scuba diving and snorkeling at Coral Cay. And one highlight I would definitely suggest you to go on is go to the Zapatilla Islands. You need a boat to get there, as they are very, very remote. They're 2 islands basically in the middle of nowhere. It's about a 45-minute ride just straight out. But once you get there, crystal clear waters, white sand beaches, a jungle, literally a jungle, and they're uninhabited. A must if you're visiting Bocas del Toro. Now, if you've had a long day, Bocas del Toro is known for its nightlife. If you end up going on a Friday, there is a special event called Filthy Fridays. I'm going to make sure that you are forewarned. It's called Filthy Fridays for a reason. It gets a little crazy, but it is known every single Friday as an absolute gong show on a barge. They're also known for different festivals and a lot of nightlife on the main island. Now that we're talking about islands, I'm going to suggest that you check out number 4, the San Blas Islands. San Blas Islands are a collection of 365 different islands in the Caribbean, about a 3.5 hour drive from Panama City. Now, they suggest that it could be anywhere from 2.5 to 5 hours drive, but we did it once and it was 5 hours to get there, and then the guy was like a NASCAR driver on the way back. It ended up taking about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Now, if you're looking for a more raw, authentic experience in Panama, the San Blas Islands are perfect for you. They're a lot more chill. They are inhabited by the local indigenous communities, and therefore, I think you have to sign something when you get to loading into the boat. The unique thing about the San Blas Islands is literally everywhere you can literally look down and see the bottom. So you can see large manta rays and other fish throughout the San Blas Islands. Also, since the San Blas Islands are very remote and almost uninhabited, if you go during rainy season, expect to get wet. The islands do have huts on them if you are looking to stay, but it's not something glamorous. They won't have air conditioning. It's more so just a hut. So if it's going to rain, it is going to rain cats and dogs, and the chances are you might get wet. Other areas that you can stay is on different catamarans and boats that are supplied if you pre-book it in advance. Now that we're talking about boats, it's also a very popular spot for a lot of tourists looking to go from the San Blas Islands to Cartagena, Colombia. I believe it's a 4-day adventure on a catamaran, and I think there's also a quicker route as well. Now, it also returns to the San Blas Islands from Cartagena, and people drive into Panama City from there. Okay, now that we're in that area, there's the Darién National Park. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's wild and very, very remote. So if you're an advanced trekker or adventurous, this area is for you. There's jungle trekking, river expeditions, bird watching, and you get to meet the local indigenous and Barra communities. It's also one of the most unique, biodiverse areas in all of the Americas. So number 6 is the Santa Catalina Islands. Now, this is a must if you're gonna go visit Panama. Yes, they're a little bit tricky to get to, but they are worth it. It's some of the best diving and snorkeling in the world on Coiba Island. You can dive with sharks, giant manta rays, and also whale sharks, some of the biggest sharks in the world. It's sometimes called the Galapagos of Central America. Also, if you're a surfing lover, Santa Catalina has some of the best waves in all of Panama. Number 7, El Valle de Antón. Now, this is a super unique adventure, not too far from Panama City. It's about a 90-minute drive, I do believe. The town is based in a crater in a dormant volcano. So you can imagine the type of hiking trails around the area. A hiking trail that I would suggest that you go on would be La India Dormida. Now, there's so many different canopy zip lines, thermal pools, waterfalls, horseback riding, and also a ton of mountain biking. Number 8, the Gulf of Chiriquí National Marine Park. It's a cluster of islands, mangroves, and marine life on the Pacific side. Adventure highlights of this area would be kayaking, deep sea fishing, snorkeling, whale watching. If you go between July and September, most often you'll see humpback whales, and you can also explore a lot of hidden beaches. Now this brings me to number 9, Isla Toboga. It's about a 30-minute boat ride from Panama City, so it's not too far. It's a great day trip. Once you get to the island, there's a whole bunch of different little restaurants and things to do if you enjoy just walking and exploring the little town of Toboga. A lot of tourists end up going to the beach. There's actually a spine to another island. Highlights away from the city are you can actually charter a boat all the way around. I've done it. When you get to the backside, it's awesome. It's definitely more remote, and the waves, because you're in the open ocean, obviously get to be a lot more gnarly, but the adventure is totally worth it. Also, Toboga is kind of like a mountain in the middle of the ocean, so hiking to the top, I suggest that you do it in the morning because it gets very, very hot and humid in the middle of the day. But once you get to the top, you can see Panama City and everything else around it. Isla Toboga is also part of what's called the Pearl Islands. So number 10 is the Pearl Islands. The main city that you would go to is Contadora, which is about a 90-minute boat ride from Panama City. It's a cluster of islands that are a lot more remote. So now if we're looking at Bocas del Toro cluster of islands, we're looking at the San Blas Islands cluster of islands, and now we're looking at the Pearl Islands. The Pearl Islands are on the Pacific side. The water and the marine life can get to be a lot more extreme. When you get to the Pearl Islands, you'll know what I mean. The water is a lot more rocky because we're on the Pacific side of Panama. The water is obviously a lot deeper blue because it goes way, way down. But the wildlife that you'll get in the Pearl Islands is a lot bigger and a lot more adventurous. The Pearl Islands have also become very, very popular in the news because they've been hosting the Beast Games with Mr. Beast and Survivor. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let me know what your favorite adventure was in Panama, and I'll see you in the next video.